Okay, it is Thursday. It is December 3rd. And the market's about to close in 15 minutes. Let's go over some runners today. Starting with EVK. All right, EVK. We haven't had this kind of setup in a while. This started way back yesterday after hours, 4:05 p.m. Made the run up, 4:50. And then right here, what time is this? This is 4:05 a.m. So early on, 4:05 a.m., and this moved very early, came back. And you're looking to see where this comes back at. Right here, 375 line. See the line right here? Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, about 15 touches. So that line was huge. Once you see this, you're saying, okay, it's not going through. And then you have that support here, these two candles. And then there it is, 375 right here again. And then draw your line right here. Yeah, this is at 8 a.m. I don't like to trade usually till after 8. So this is kind of just after. And draw your line right here. This broke above. This had an opening of 411 and a low of 374. And see this? Look at that little wrap right here. Very subtle. The 13 started to move. And then look at your next move right here. So on this, you play the 4 line, or you can play the 370 line, try for the comeback there. And then this took off pre-market. So we had it the last few days, pre-market moves. They have been moving. So this was moving up, line by line. And on this line too, where did they take this? The low, 462. See, right in between there. That's why you don't want to play anything at these like 550. You want to play them cents. Then the low here, 506. I would have missed that though, because 505, I don't go above that. And then this broke down. And this got as low as 475 and then shot up to 8. So on this one, this is a little bit tougher. You draw your line here. This did come out right here and then came back again. So this is a little bit tougher move. It came back to the next line, but it was a higher low. And there's your cross. And then after that, fade it down. So this is a little bit tougher today. Pre-market move. I don't like to trade pre-market. For the most part. But that was a clean move. It was clean. After this is going back and forth, back and forth. I don't see no news either. This is a former stock that had many run-ups. Yeah, all right, so it's a move here. Let's look again. Excuse me. I get cold lately or something. So let's look at that 375 line. See that move up, very nice. It came back. 1 support here, 2. Now draw your line here. If I'm drawing it here, it's out. But then it came back to the 5 line and exploded up. So let's see the 10-minute here. Minute here, we're just open at 411, came back all the way that line. That's tough on that 10-minute. It was a tougher trade, that's for sure. It was not clean. It's kind of edgy. The 3-minute. Now the 3-minute was kind of better. Still like the 3-minute, but I'm using the 5 a lot. 3 here went up. And then look where this came back to 389. And you had great support there. So that wasn't bad there. So even with 600 shares, it's $13.50 one day. It came back and took off. All right, so it was a tougher play. Didn't really see news, although it's possible. 3.9 million float. Trade Idea says got 106 million today in volume. And see this spikes before. This is spike. Yeah, it's a former spiker. Excuse me. Former spiker then came down. So I'm just looking at this chart again. Just different buying points. Hey, you want to get the best buying points too. So, back to the 3 minute. So back to the 3 minute here. See this? So where are your lines? So 420, that's a pretty tight line, but this went up to here and came way back to 375 line. Could have came back all the way to there. That's why. So if you're using a bigger size, you could get stopped out there. So for me, 600, 800 shares was pretty good. 800, it drops a quarter down, only 200. 600 is 150. So my max, I try to, unless it's so strong, super max, like 500, 300 is my main max. And then you can see here. So there's some different buying points there. Let's get a LIZI. This happened way early pre-market, 6:03 a.m. You can see here 6. My E-Trade doesn't open until 7, I think. So this went all the way up. Came back. Very choppy. That's the 3 minute. See the 5 minute. It did hold at 4, but when you see that back and forth, it's very, very choppy. Although it did make it long, but it is early. TGA, penny stock, nope. NSCO was a little bit tougher. This moved early at 7:40 a.m. Yes, sort of moved pretty high. Usually they'll fade. You draw your line right here. Let me put this line in here. So you put this line right here. And then you see it trying to shoot up there. That's the first sign that this, wants to go long. Then move up from 575. Then once it's made that big move, so you have, it's kind of close to there, but you're not going to play the break in there. The way it's been running, I see the low's been coming back. The low here, 580. Right here's the 6 line. And then how low did this go? This low came to 580. So 575. Yeah, you play it 5 cents, 580 would have been bad. So here, once you see that, and then maybe you can wait a few candles. See, after this first candle, it's tough. Maybe here, this is a wedge. See that? So here, 575. And then this candle here, the low was 602, 605 on 955, 1015. So like 15 minutes. Then it came back. So it was a tougher gainer long. That's in a 5 minute, a 3 minute. Yeah, 3 minutes kind of chopping all over here. You see this, and you see it go back down. So 10 minute. There's a move up. So when you see this come right back to this line, That's a good sign that line's going to hold. So the 10-minute was good here. See, each time you look at a different chart, 3, 5, 10, it's tough. Sometimes the 3 is good, the 5, the 10 is good. On this one, yeah, the 10 really held well. Then this opened 736. ENLV. This is 8:05 a.m. Kind of quick burst up, not great volume. Then made a little move right there. So not a great play. PRTH. This is one big candle. So if you see that, you take your shot. Next line would be 575. Or if you're going to go back to that 550 line. And it took off. Pretty good gainer. See, not the best volume though. Not really. The moves today weren't as good as last week, definitely. AMTX over 250, 350. It's pure momentum right there. You see this right at the open and come back here. See, that's going to stay within that 2013 EMA. And here's ZS, right over 170 to 188. This is pure momentum when you see that. Yeah, the moves weren't good. Today weren't as good. Very tough to read. All right, here's Kirk. You have a move up. And then another move, you're saying, okay, I'm going to play the 17 line. It did come back to the 1750 line. You draw your triangle here. It did break over 17. Now this one's over 17. And then this comes back to 1650. 1650 here. So if you're buying this here, this candle is probably going to shake out a lot of people. But see, again, you got to give it to that support. Where's the open? 1695. Take it sideways enough. So this is a tougher read. Didn't really hit that 1650, but a few times. So you can wait for a pattern to develop too. See, this is the pattern, you know, straight up. All right. AR, hello, 575. Got up there into 625 line, back to 6. Now this is another tough read here. See when this happens, but look what happens. Your 1320 EMA's coming up. So you got to read this. And then you're going, after this, okay, I'm putting in a, you know, trade at 6. And you got to give your support right around here anyway. So when you start to break out, that's the thing. Like if you ever see you start to break out this fade here at the start of a breakout, not really. That's another thing to look at. You never see like here, so it came up a little bit right here, and then it's gonna, you know, just fade down. I don't really see that. You don't see that often. And then you had your next move, 625, like middle of the chart, and took off for a nice over $1 gain. All right, Rev. A lot of these aren't good volume today either, so stock market's closed. So you see the move up here, 1325. What's the volume here? Like 20,000. It's not a lot. So that was a takeoff. There's KOLD, natural gas. GSM right at 170 to 210. A little bit down the list here. EVRI. Look at this, 1150. This is nice and smooth. This is way down the list though. Bit of long here. Wow. All right, so that's the top runners today. Not as good as, yeah, the last week, even yesterday. Something's moving here. Let me see. Oh, that was MBRV. Thought it was moving. Not seeing nothing after hours right now. So the market finished up 86. SPY was flat. NASDAQ plus 27. Small caps plus 7. VIX 2152 was up 1.65%. Commodities, gold was up 1505. Silver flat. Copper flat. Crude 45.64. So, yeah, there were the moves today. So not the greatest of moves. Long EVK. LIZI, very tough. TGA was a penny. NSCO was a little bit tough too. Did break above that 6 level. Very sharp move. The NLV. JFIN. AMTX was a very sharp move. So not the best longs today. Very tough to get long. EVK was the move long. Just looking at this again. It's right over that. Look at a 3-minute here. See that 375 line hold. And so you have that support look back. See the support when it came up. So pre-market, don't like to trade, but that would turn into a good long here. All right, once you have that, call your trend line. It did break above. So once this broke above trend line, see right there, you're out that candle. And this low is a 503. You could have played 505. Then once it starts to do this, that's the problem there. Could have stopped you out. 505. But then again, there's your support. Support's right there at 475. That's how you get to play it. So you're playing that quarter. Yeah, this chart's a little bit tougher. I'm going to lower my size. Five, 505. 3. Still could have been 1800. Just looking at different ways to play it now. On the 5-minute. See the 5-minute, you're going to miss that. And you're going to get up here. And you're going to get stopped out probably 525 to 5. 10-minute. A little bit tougher too. You know, this was definitely not an A+ setup, that's for sure. So you see a lot of these moves, and then And once this comes down, we get a 3 minute. $5.05. Just looking here, so. And you see this coming down. What was that open on here? Opening that was 519, the low. And the little wicks. It's tough. It's a tough long. Not an A+ setup, so tougher to play there. All right, so that's it for today. Not great setups today. Not for long, even not great shorts. Kind of a topsy-turvy day. Here's a SPY. So you can see the move here, move down, move up. It's definitely a wedge, but we're totally flat up here, totally overbought, and we're buried, and it's staying up there. Yeah, the weekly is still strong, monthly strong. And the 30 minutes come down a little bit, but nothing yet on this. So. See, the VIX is moving a little bit. VIX is at 2151. Touched right down here near that 20 level. The weekly looks like it wants to cross. With the 4 hour trying to come up. This looks like a big move's going to happen. You know, like 28.30. So the VIX looks like something's up here. Maybe this could get to around 30. UVXY touching 11 a few times here. This has totally been flat for a while, ever since 22. This could come up. See your 4 hour, look at this. It's trying now. See it's below, flat. Trying to come up here. 30 minute. So there's possibilities right there. The VIX, I think Boeing had good news today. And yeah, went right above this line here. So if you draw this line here, there's 1, 2 touches, 3 touches. This is so overbought. It's staying in. See, it's staying overbought right here. You know, 4 hour. And there's the 2 hour and the 1 hour. See how far this goes. You don't want to buy anything this high. So it's on Boeing. Here's defend. This came out of this wedge. Look, it went right back up. Extremely bullish. There's the weekly. The weekly looks like, say, it finally crossed there sideways. Might become a little bit out of steam now. This run's been really strong. And there's the 1 hour coming down, so we'll see on that. All right, so not the best runners today. You know, market's still running red high. It looks like a cross. I'm just looking. A cross is formed on the SPY right now. Very high up here, 366. looking at some other plays here. AEP, looking for swings. Look at AMAT. These take off. You can always say woulda, shoulda. Shoulda get in here. Oversold. There's AMAX. See, this came right through. ISMB. There's a BCLI. They're trying to get into this gap. BXRX. Remember I called this? Something's up here. Look at the volume. You have stochastics rolling up here. See the trend's getting higher. Yeah, this really explodes or gaps up. This is going to get to probably 2. It's very strong. Inside day here for CATB. CCJ, CF. See a lot of these runs from here. Look how big this run. That's the biggest run for most of these stocks since like May, August. It came up, pulled back a little bit. We've no drop yet. We're kind of far away from moving averages too. So we're running real hot. Fear and greed index is at 85. Extremely greedy still. See, the problem is the market's this hot. It's very tough to get a swing, you know, like this. You want this to get this in this gap. You want it to be oversold the stock. Look at DDD. Came here to 5, pull back. Yeah, everything's running like this. Look at the move. These are like all doubles, these stocks. It's way, way overheated. You know, Dell came all the way back to 60. And then this has made a move to 71. Incredible. Total V for a lot of these stocks. DraftKings, you know, 35 to 50 plus. But they're getting overheated. They're up way high here. But the market is no quit right now. Here's a EGAN. Came here, pull back again. And this eventually will swing up probably. Lower volume. Take the bearish ETFs here. They're pretty much flat. TZA, so he's going back and forth. There's FAS. So these are still going down. I mean, unless these hold these levels, it starts to come up. The market is way too strong. We have no reversals yet. If the market comes back, you have the 100-day at 340 would be a nice pullback. 313 is the 200-day. I'll look for that 340 level. You know, we eventually will get a pullback. We're just red hot right now. So, all right, that's it for today. Not as great, long or short. Very tougher plays to read, choppier plays. You know, down the list there's some good plays, but a lot of people are not looking way down the list. You're looking at your top movers. That's what everyone's trading. All right, so please subscribe and like the channel, and we are out for now. Peace.